Good afternoon. We are back with another video, okay? Another video. I am your host, Ebony Rose. I am a social media consultant and I am here to help you build a clear online presence this month. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm here every day this month at 1 p.m. giving you tips on how you can build a clear online presence. Take which piece you want. If some of it doesn't apply to you, that's fine. If you were landing on my page, if you were landing on my video today, please like, comment, subscribe, leave me a comment, some feedback, whatever it is, and I will definitely get back to you. We are going to get started because this is a good one. This is a good topic today. This topic today is why people don't know what you do. Now, this one, when I was doing my topics, I was like, this is going to be a good one because I went through this with my previous brand. So, really quick recap of my journey. I had a social media business 2 years ago before I rebranded called Swift Ties, right? And it was doing what I'm doing now similarly, but I kind of revamped a lot of my services and what I offer. So a lot of times people, and I did that for like 4 years. I did Swift Ties for like I think it was like 4 or 5 years. A lot of people sometimes would be like, what is it that you actually do? And I'd be like, oh my gosh, no, don't ask me that. Like, because in my head, I'm like, I'm posting all the time. I'm saying what I do all the time. I have a website, everything is out there for people to see what it is that I'm doing. So I'm like, why are they constantly asking me what it is that I do when it's out there for you it's out there for you to see, right? So we're going to talk about that today because I went through that and I went through it a little bit with my rebrand, but I feel like that was expected because I was rebranding, right? I was starting over pretty much, and people didn't really know what I did. So many business owners assume that their audience understands their work. They just automatically assume that their audience is going to understand their work, especially like if they're just starting. And I noticed this with a lot of people. If they're just starting and they're just starting to post, they think that automatically people are just going to understand what they do. And that's not the case, right? We talked about building trust, being clear about your message, all of those things, right? We have to work at that for a little bit for people to even know that we exist, right? Because if you don't have a social media presence and you're just now starting, people aren't going to know what you do. Like, that's just a given. They're not going to know what you do. Talking around your work instead of explaining it clearly. That was me. That, I'm not going to lie, that was me. Because I would give social media tips, right? And I would say like what to do on social media, like, the generic stuff I used to talk about, what to post, when to post it, what types of content to do. I even talked about content pillars, content calendars, logos and websites and, just giving different tips on social media, right? Whatever came to my mind, I would just give tips, right? But I would always talk around what I did for people, what I did for my clients, because I was unclear. If I'm being honest, now that I think about it, I myself was unclear of what I actually did to help my clients, because when I started that brand, I was in everything, social media management or social media consultant or, all, like different areas I was in. And then I realized I'm like, I don't even like doing half of this stuff. So let me focus on the side that I really enjoy doing, which is the consulting part. And then things began to become more clear for me, right? So I didn't have to talk around my work. Instead, I could explain it very, very clearly to people. Like, this is what I do. I help you become more visible on social media. I help you build your social media profiles from the ground up. We literally start you from the ground up, and we go through tips and tricks and strategies on how we can make your brand more visible on social media so that you can attract the right clients at the right time. I know what I'm doing. I can now convey that clearly to my audience, right? So I went through that. Like, I went through this whole thing of talking in circles, talking around what it is that I actually did, right? Using language that feels obvious to you but confusing to others, like big words, or using like SEO. Oh my gosh. A lot of people were like, what is SEO? I don't understand what that means. In my head, it's very obvious to me because I'm in this field, right? Like, of course I'm going to know what SEO is. But speaking to a client, they may not know what that means, right? They may know like some terminology around that word or some aspects of SEO. But when you come out and say things like that, like SEO or KPI or what's the other one? There was another one. SOPs, just all these acronyms for different things. And I'm just using those as an example, but like when people say that, they're probably like, what is she talking about? That could be confusing. Be very clear. Don't use acronyms. Say it out. Say the whole thing out, okay? When you are using language that feels obvious to you but confusing to others, make sure you make it as clear as possible for them, okay? Because clarity builds recognition. If you are clear about what it is that you do and what it is that you're saying, people are going to recognize you. People are going to start wanting to work with you because they will come across something that you put out there, right? I'll just keep using myself as an example. Like some people have come across my videos on here and it's so clear to them that this is what they need that they're like, oh my gosh, thank you. That this is exactly what I needed to hear. This is right on time. I needed to hear this for my brand or my business or whatever it is, So you have to continuously make sure that you're striving to be clear so that you can build recognition so that people can be like, oh my gosh, that just hit me. Like, she just said that so clearly, so perfectly. Like, I want to work with her because she gets it. She knows exactly what I need. She knows exactly what I'm going through. And I need someone that's going to know what I'm going through, that's going to meet me where I am and build me up to where I need to be and help me build my brand up to where I need it to be. That is what I do for my clients. That is exactly what I do. I meet them where they are, whatever stage that they're in with their social media journey. That's where I meet them where they are. And we talk through some things. A lot of times we got to get through the mindset. We got to get through the confidence. We got to get through all of that first. And then we dive into, okay, what is your vision? What is your mission for your brand? What are you trying to achieve? And we go from there and we build it up as we go. That is what I do. That is what I'm clear on. And that is what they convey in their reviews. That's what they convey in their testimonial videos. And that brings me recognition, right? People see that and they want to work with me because they see, like, it's word of mouth. They see others have been successful going through my programs. They see that others have good things to say about the information that I'm providing for them based on my own experience. That's all I can do, right? I can only provide to you what I've experienced and the things that I've learned. I've gone through school, I've gone through classes for this. So I can only convey to you what I've been taught. And that is how I'm still mastering it, but that is how I work at being clear for my brand so that I can get the recognition, right? The easier it is to understand you, the easier it is to trust you. And that's what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to build trust with our audience. We're all trying to build that community feeling within our social media platforms. So we have to be clear. People have to understand us, right? There are people that talk fast. You have to know that if I'm doing videos, I need to maybe take it a little bit slower so that I can get my words out, so that my audience can understand clearly what it is that I am trying to say, right? So you have to take all these things into account. And when I usually work with people and I pick up on things, because it takes me a little bit to learn you, to see how you are with your content, and then I can give my advice. Like, maybe you want to slow down when you're doing your videos, you're talking too fast, people may not understand what you're saying, or maybe you want to use this light or use a stand, like use a tripod for your phone when you're recording so you're not holding it and you're not moving it, and just little tips like that. But I have to come to know my clients, right, so that I can help them, so that they can feel comfortable, so that they can feel confident with showing up and making their content easy to understand so that their audience can begin to trust them, right? So yes, let's let this marinate, because this is a big one. A lot of times we think that people are just going to see our stuff and automatically know what we do, and then we have to deal with the fact that sometimes people don't always see your stuff. Like, you have to reshare it. You have to continuously put yourself out there once, twice, three, four times a day, maybe, because people don't always see stuff. I just talked to someone that, and I've been posting like crazy on my social media. And they said, "Oh, I didn't, you have to remind me because I don't always see it." And I'm like, "I've been posting every day. I've been doing this, I've been doing that." But that just goes to show me that you may need to post a little bit more, okay? You have to be in people's faces. And I said this in another video, and I'm going to say it again. You have to be in people's faces so that they can be clear about what it is that you do, right? If people have to guess what you do, they won't engage. They won't engage. And they won't build that trust with you. So if they have to guess, and if they have to guess, they're going to move on to someone else who comes across as being clearer than you in this moment. So you win some, you lose some, right? You live and you learn, you course correct, trial and error. We all go through it. But this is just your reminder to keep this in the back of your mind when you're creating content. Show up consistently, be clear about your message, and be clear about what it is that you do. Don't talk around it. Be very, very direct, be very, very clear. Speak to the pain points of the people that you want to attract. And that will tell them, oh, she's a person that I'm going to follow. She's a person that knows what she's talking about. And I'm going to keep listening to her, because if she keeps being this consistent with her knowledge and wisdom, I'm going to sign up with her. We talked about followers turning into buyers. Go back and listen to that one, because the more they watch you and the more they see that they can trust you, they're going to migrate from being a follower to a buyer. Okay. So go to my website, check it out. If you want to work with me, click on the work with me tab. I am live every day at 1 p.m. I would love to hear from you. Like and subscribe to this channel, and I will see y'all tomorrow at 1 p.m.